in a sense, my book is a form of therapy for people, and it's, at least how I designed to write it is to roll out in a way that invites them to just share their story.
Yeah.
Some of my pages have reflection pages too, so it'll say like,
good.
how you felt about that. Let's process what came up for you.
Yeah, this is big. Like,
Yeah.
let's unfold. So you're still in it with them as they're reading it.
There's
Love that.
breathing exercises in there. There's like wellness activities in there, because I know that some of the stories play as triggers. I talk about community violence, gang violence, gun violence, drugs, all the stuff that I saw growing
Right.
up. And some of that could be triggering for people who have never processed that before. So in a sense, it's like, I'm going to walk you through your L's because I want you to name it. I want you to understand the impact of what that had in your life, but I also want you to learn and say, what is the lesson this brings for me? And lastly, how could I use this lesson and this loss to create such a positive impact within myself, my family, my friends, or my community, right? So it's really, when I think of the word legacy, I think of the positive impact. When you gone, how do people remember you?
Yeah.
That's your impact, right? That's your legacy. And so being hella intentional about how I describe it and how I lead people to that is my goal of getting people to see themselves as legends, seeing themselves as legacy builders, so that they can eliminate the victimization that
Yes.
oftentimes keeps them in that loss.
What was your writing process like? Did you plan everything out, or did your story unfold as you wrote it?
It unfolded as I wrote it. I'm the kind of person, I'm inspired by everything. Music, reading, books. I could watch a TV show and see a scene, and I'm pulling out my notes on my phone and being like, oh, this reminds me of this story. And I'm just at least jotting down what the memory brings up, so that, once I put my son to sleep and handle my business throughout the day, I pretty much sit down and I pull up my phone and say, what stories came up this week? And then I saturate myself and start writing out those stories. So again, it kind of just goes with the flow. Every time something come up and I'm triggered by something, I write it down. I write. So I encourage everybody who's listening who want to be an author, write down those memories that are coming up. Those are free stories, so that you don't just sit at a blank computer and be like, all right, now what are all the stories I want to include?
Yeah,
in
what was
this?
I thinking of?
Yeah, so writing it down is always helpful.
I love that. And then you also take that time to just pour yourself into that.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I saturate myself. I even tell my man, like, don't bother me. I put on headphones, put some music on,
that.
and I just saturate myself around even artists that I feel like I talk about Tupac a lot. Cole, just artists, Kendrick Lamar, that really talk about the ability to move from losses to legacy by default. A lot of the lyrics already talk about it. So I get inspired by that when I have it in my ears, and I'm like, yeah, and this is my story, and I'm finna write this out.
Yeah.
It starts coming out like
This is my
natural.
love.
Yeah.
This is my lesson. This is my legacy.